Gadoosh Ninjas. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joey Moss, bad boy MTG. And we got a lot of Strixhaven cards to discuss today. You're looking at some pretty fine art there. I believe there's going to be specific art. That's only going to be found in Japanese booster packs, which is a bummer. I know. Much like War of the Spark, the Japanese booster packs and stuff that they did a few years ago. I don't like that they do that because I like the art so much. I want to have the card in regular English with some sweet, animated art, anime art, whatever the case may be art. Why can't we have it in English too? Is that too much to ask? I don't know. Well, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. I did not go over or preview or review or anything, any of these spoilers. So we are going to all learn together. Are you guys ready? Props to MTG Rocks. Here we go. We're going to start with Vineglimmer Snarl. So here is our new cycle of lands. Snarl enters the battlefield. You may reveal a forest or island card from your hand. If you don't, enters the battlefield tapped. So like mid-game, this probably isn't going to be too good. Odds of it coming in tapped, unless you're draw heavy, is probably going to be likely. So that's a downside. But early game, you should not have an issue on turn one with having a forest or island in your hand along with this. Should not be too difficult. Then we got Necroblossom Snarl here. Gotta love the art on all the magic cards. Same abilities. No need to go over all of them like that. Frostboil Snarl. Pretty legit. I'm just looking at it basically for the art purpose right now. Furycalm Snarl. A bunch of snarls going on, huh? These lands seem very familiar, though. Shineshadow Sharl. Didn't we have something just like this a while ago? I'm pretty sure we did. You can reveal a plane. Didn't we? This cannot be new. I don't know why. I feel like we already had it. Anyway, so those are the lands. Hooray. Let's get up into Archmage Emeritus. I'm going to butcher some card names. I'm going to miss some births, okay? Here we go. Archmage Emeritus, sure. 4-drop, Human Wizard, Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. Okay, 2/2. That's pretty hot, man. If you can keep this sucker on the battlefield, you're looking pretty ferocious, man, because you're going to be able to draw a lot of cards. Especially you got a bunch of 1 or 2 drops, and it's not limiting you. It says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, a copy as well. Pretty cool. Draw a card. You're just going to go, I don't know. Probably, actually, if you were to run, maybe Wizard Tribal. You don't even got to be Wizard Tribal. But just throw this thing in there with a few other cards, with the Magecraft ability. And just cheap 1/2 drop instant sorcery spells. Probably going to be able to storm off or something, especially with a card like this. That's why I think I like it, because of the storm, factor, where you can just keep filling up your hand, man. Keep filling up your hand every time you cast. Every time you cast a 1 or 2 drop or any sorcery or spell, whatever, you're able to draw that card. So pretty powerful card in my opinion. It is a 4-drop and it's a 2/2, so it dies to a shock. But what are you gonna do? Looks like we have some alternate art. This is the first one is exclusive to the bundle, I would assume. I hope they step up the bundles, man. This little bundle promo art, it's neat that they're giving us an alternative. But it's not really, for the bundle's sake. I don't really care too much for the bundles that they do. Maybe increase it by an extra 2 packs or something. Just the value's not in them for what they ask when they first drop. It's just simply not there, guys. All right, now we have a flip card, Nasari Dean of Expression. What do you do? That art is super cool, though. Legendary creature, Efreet. Wow, Efreet. When's the last time we saw an Efreet? Shaman. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of each opponent's library. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from among those exiled cards. Exile the top card of each opponent's library. Whoa. So, they really are gearing every standard set towards Commander. I swear. You may cast spells from among those exiled cards, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. Wow. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on Nasari Dean of Expression. So not only do you get bigger, I mean, you're still a big old dummy, though. You know, you could be a 100. It doesn't really matter. You're just going to, you know, get chumped. But regardless of that, I mean, there's other things you can do to make it powerful. That ability on it alone, I think, speaks for itself. You know, it is a 5-drop. I mean, that's a little steep there, but still pretty decent. It's a 4/4, so it's got some toughness. It's going to dodge your lightning strikes, lightning bolts, anything that deals 3 damage. You know. Dodging shocks and all that too, so that's pretty cool. And then on the flip side, we have ourselves Uvilda, Dean of Perfection. Okay. Jin, Wizard. Jin's would be back. Man, look at that crazy art. I was just talking about Jin's the other day, or yesterday in the video. I opened 1-pack Iconic Masters. Baby, we pulled this right here. I know, I was so excited. All right, anyway, moving forward. Tap, you may exile an instant or sorcery card from your hand and put 3 hone counters on it. It gains at the beginning of your upkeep if this card is exiled. Remove a hone counter from it. And when the last hone counter is removed from this card, if it's exiled, you may cast it. It costs 4 less to cast this way. Wow. So that's cheapening costs for sure. 4 colorless, less to cast. Wow, I mean, that would be great, even like in an artifact build or something like that. I like this. Yeah, the home counters are pretty legit. I'm going to make sure I understand this. This is why we read over cards again. Yeah, artifacts, forget what I just said there. Yeah, it's only instant or sorcery. But still, I mean, this is great. This would complement the other card above, too, that we just went over. So, which one was it? That would be, yeah, this guy. So anything that deals with instants and sorceries and just being able to 4 less to cast, that's a lot. That makes me think we're going to see some extremely powerful spells, you know, that are powerful instant and sorceries or high casting instant and sorceries in standard. Whoa, that's pretty legit, man. I like it. Yeah, I do like it. That's why I read over cards again. Then we got Storm-Klin Artist. Storm-Klin. Oh, the kiln. Storms. There it is. There it is, guys. Storm-Klin Artist gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. Artifacts, baby. Are we going to see Urza? No. But that'd be sweet. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a treasure token. Them dwarfs love them treasure tokens, let me tell you. Okay, this guy could get pretty big, too. Yeah, off himself, which is cool. Still has that 2 toughness, though. Pretty weak sauce there, but otherwise, interesting card. Uncommon. Not bad. I think that's pretty cool. Well, that's cool art here. Eager first year. You're only one. You're one. Oh, your first year at the college. Gotcha. Magecraft. This is a human wizard. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Eager first year gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Okay, cool. What do you want me to say? What else do you want me to say about it? Professor of Symbology. Ooh, look at her. Look at her. I like the art. This art's different, man. It's pretty cool. 2-drop. Core Cleric. When Professor of Symbology enters the battlefield, learn. We're going to learn right now what the heck learn is. That's a new mechanic. You may reveal a lesson card you own from outside the game, which would be your sideboard, and put it into your hand. Or discard a card to draw a card. That's interesting. I think it's really interesting that you can discard a card and draw a card in white. That's pretty interesting right there. Okay, so learn is pretty different. One more time what learn is. You may reveal a lesson card from you. I keep reading that weird. You may reveal a lesson card you own from your sideboard and put it into your hand. Yikes, man. I want to see what these lesson cards are. We need to know more. We need to know more, but that's cool. And I'll tell you one thing. Being able to go and grab whatever you want from your sideboard, I mean, you're adding like 15 cards to your deck, basically. You know, when you play cards like this, which is ridiculous. Pop quiz. For 3, draw a card. It's an instant. And then you have the learn. You may reveal a lesson card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand. You may reveal a lesson card you own from outside. What are these lesson cards, man? We got to find out. Confront the Past. Okay, this one looks slick. You got X in the casting cost. Here we go. Here's like these big spells. And it's a lesson. Sorcery, lesson. X and 1 black mana. Choose one. Return target Planeswalker card with mana value. Mana value. Mana value. That's new. They usually don't say that. They would say they convert a mana cost, something like that. Return target Planeswalker card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Does anyone know why Wizards changed that? The verbiage there? I don't know. Okay, so return target Planeswalker card with a mana. Okay. So, I mean, this could be fun in like a mill-style deck, you know? And then you get, you know, the big nasty in there and boop, there you go. Plop it back on the battlefield, you know, cheat some stuff. Maybe not cheat it into play, because you're really not, you know, unless you're using the other card up there, which reduce casting cost of instants and sorceries by 4 if you leave it in exile and all that. Then the other one, remove twice X loyalty counters from target Planeswalker and opponent controls. Wow. Okay, so I totally get the whole lesson thing, man. Yeah, it's definitely sideboard situational stuff, because if kinda, I mean, you benefit yourself, or well, you're going to benefit yourself no matter how you look at it. But you can interact with your own graveyard on this, or you can do something to an opponent's Planeswalker. Kind of cool. That's kind of cool. So you can end up destroying a Planeswalker with this quite easily. Okay, I dig it. Not bad. Ooh, hybrid. I was not expecting hybrid casting costs. Okay. Pest Summoning. What are you all about? We have Pest Summoning here. It's a lesson card. In Golgari, 1 colorless, and then your choice of black or green times 2. Create 2 1/1 black and green pest creature tokens with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. Yeah. Does that just seem kind of weak? I don't know. Okay, then we have a Witherbloom Apprentice, which is Golgari as well. 1 black, 1 green. Human Druid creature, Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Well, that's fun. It's a 2/2. That is pretty fun. So the old gain and drain stuff. It's a Human Druid, not a cleric. If it was a cleric, I'd be like, that's really cool, you know. But it's a Human Druid. Okay, that's not bad. I'm sure that's going to see some play. Competitive, I don't know. Probably not. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, if you can really go off, you know, on your opponent, sure, with instants and sorceries. Sliver. I'm sorry. I always read Sliver. Silverquill Apprentice. We have. It's got Magecraft and Orzhov. That's 1 white, 1 black. Whenever you cast or copy an instant sorcery spell, target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Human Warlock. Okay. I mean, that is cool, because you can, if you have this thing in the battlefield, I mean, and maybe you have something with first strike or whatever the case may be, you know, first strike, double strike, all that crazy stuff. Whenever you cast or copy, you can do this during combat phase, you know, and depending how your opponent blocks, you know, or whatever, you can situationally be like, all right, well, I'm going to start laying this out, pumping this, doing that, giving this, this, you know, like all types of little tricks along the way. It's kind of cool. Yeah, that's a pretty cool card. It's not too bad. Human Warlock. I like that we have Warlocks now, which I believe Warlocks are a new addition to Magic. We do have Mythics to go over too, guys, so stay tuned. Quandrix Apprentice. 1 green, 1 blue, Human Wizard, Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a land card from among them and put that card into your hand, put the rest in the bottom of your library. Thank God it didn't say something like put it on the battlefield. I'd be like, busted, you know, but this is, it's not busted, but that's pretty good. I like when you can just get lands out of your library really like effectively and quickly, because then the odds of you, you know, drawing the card you need or top decking in whatever situation, you know, is you're reducing the lands in your deck. So the odds of you drawing that card you need then, you know, is just greatly increased. I like that. So you're only drawing like value cards, you know, instead of lands. So not bad. That's pretty cool. That is a pretty cool card. I like it. Human Wizard on that one in Simic colors, 1 green, 1 blue. Not Simic. That's not Simic, Joey. Oh my god, why can't I think what it is off the top of my head? Is it though? Is it Simic? Oh my god, I'm all over the place. Prismari Apprentice, Human Shaman. Remember, I'm recording these videos on the go. You know, when you watch other people do spoiler videos, they take a lot of time. They put a lot of they do some research, they do some digging, they do a lot of editing on their videos. I have done that before, but I find this much more natural. And it's like we're like in the same room together, and we're like, cool, like we're learning together right now. You know, you're experiencing what I'm experiencing. I think that's really neat. So, Prismari Apprentice in Is It? Okay. That is Simic. What was I thinking? That is Simic. Okay. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Prismari Apprentice can't be blocked this turn. If that spell has mana value 5 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on Prismari Apprentice. Okay. So the +1/+1 counter there, I don't think it's going to count. It's not going to come in too handy. I highly doubt it. You know, you might get maybe 1 or 2, you know, perks off of that, but also you got to keep this thing in the battlefield. But that is pretty neat, and this kind of synergizes well with some of the other cards above, so I like that. Okay, not bad. Then we have Lorehold Apprentice. Get a load of this sweetheart, huh? Human Cleric. Lorehold Apprentice. Would that be like Harry Potter's girlfriend in the story? I don't know. Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy instant sorcery spell, until end of turn, spirit creatures you control gain tap. This creature does 1 damage to each opponent. Oh, man. That's kind of cool. Cool. That's pretty cool. But it does have red, though. If it was like white and black, I'd be like, oh no, or like white and blue maybe? Like, that'd be really cool. You know, there's just not as many spirits in red that there are in the other colors I mentioned, especially in white, you know. But that's legit. So it is a human, and it is a cleric. As we know, human and cleric can get pretty powerful. So pretty legit card there. That's interesting. I like that. Then we have Dragonsguard Elite. Dragonsguard Elite. This is the Borderless. It's got Magecraft. It's Human Druid. It's a rare. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Dragonsguard Elite. You like that shirt? Okay. That's not bad at all. Uh-oh. And then for 6, double the number of +1/+1 counters on Dragonsguard Elite. I like that you have a mana sink built into this card. It's only a 2-drop. This thing seems fun. And it's a human. Watch out there. Human Druid. Okay. This thing's going to see play. For sure. That's pretty legit. That is really legit. I like that. Yeah, you got something early where you're able to build up. Let's talk about this a little bit more. Early on, you're going to be able to get +1/+1 counters on this. You know, get a 3/3, 4/4. By the time you end up doing something crazy like this, you know. Plus, don't forget, you got Vorinclex up in this meta. You know, I'm sure Vorinclex is going to like a card like this. They're going to go hand in hand in builds. And then late game, you know, mid-late game, bam, you're doubling the +1/+1 counters on Dragonsguard Elite. And if you have Vorinclex out, you're like quadrupling. It's like, wow. Yeah, it's nuts, man. Okay, really cool. There's the regular non-borderless version of the card. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Okay. What else we got here? We already discussed Kasmina Enigma. I will always call her Kasmina Enigma Sigma. But just to recap really quick, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Each other planeswalker you control has the loyalty abilities of Kasmina Enigma Sigma. That's right. It's got the +2, scry 1, -X, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, put X +1/+1 counters on it. I might be wrong about that not being too impactful. Maybe there's going to be something that deals or, you know, has to do with fractal creature tokens or fractal creatures, you know. Maybe we're going to see more, we'll get more information, you know, kind of like how the food token thing was. Everyone's like, what the heck is a food token? And then food ended up being one of the most powerful abilities in the last couple of years. It's like, oh, all right, you know, or mechanics. So interesting. And then a -8, search your library for an instant or sorcery card that shares a color with this planeswalker. Exile that card, then shuffle. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Pretty cool. So that you would go and dig up like your biggest spells. You know, your ultimatums. that match the colors, and just smack it on the field. And you're going to win the game. But the thing that makes this card really cool is its static ability. I'll just recap that. Any planeswalkers like your Narset or something like that, or whoever else the case may be, there's quite a few of them where they're not able to really like +1, like Garruk, for example, the most recent Garruk, or not the most recent, the 6-drop in Golgari. You're not able to +1, unless the only way to do that is to have a wolf die, So this thing would allow you to +2 on your Garruk and Scry, and then the following turn you can just ultimate your Garruk. Pretty cool. So stuff like that to consider. Then we have Professor Onyx, which is really Liliana. I'm not sure why maybe... I don't know why they went that route. I mean, I'm not against it. I don't care. I just know I heard a few people making a deal about it, and I'm kind of like, I'll make a little deal about it too, I guess. But this one's not bad. It is powerful late game. Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That's hot sauce. +1, you lose 1 life. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them. Trust me, we have other planeswalkers to go over after this. Stick around. Into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. So that's pretty okay. -3, each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls. Okay. -8, each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat this process 6 times. Yeah. Professor Onyx is legit. That's a game closer. Probably looking at a 1 or 2 of in most decks. I can't really see running too much more than that. But then again, we have seen crazier stuff. So there's that. Will, Scholar of Frost. I will spend a little more time on this than the past cards. Let's talk about Will here, huh? Handsome blonde gentleman. Almost looks like he has angel wings, huh? It's a 5-drop. Legendary Planeswalker Will. It's Ken and Barbie, really. This is Ken. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That's a nice static ability. That's pretty cool. It's +1 up to 1 target creature has base power and toughness 0/2 until your next turn. Okay, I like that. Like if your opponent decided to block with something. Well, no, sorry, that wouldn't work that way. You'd have to do this like before to make one of your opponent's creatures weak as crap. But remember, it's base power, so if they have +1/+1 counters on it, well, what would he do? It doesn't really matter too much. They're going to get those +1/+1s on top of the 0/2. So that's all right. It's -3, draw 2 cards. Oh man, I get card draw such a big deal, but I wish they would do something a little different instead of the draw cards. On a lot of these planeswalkers, it seems to be always like one of the abilities, for the stronger planeswalkers. Draw a card, draw 2 cards. But drawing 2 cards, that's pretty hefty, man. That's cool. -7, exile up to 5 target permanents. For each permanent exile this way, its controller creates a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. That's interesting. That could go both ways. I mean, late game, you can exile a bunch of your lands and you got a bunch of threats out now, Or if your opponent just has stuff you cannot deal with for whatever reason, you can turn them into red elemental creature tokens. And it doesn't have to be all 5 are the opponents. It could be, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that creature. I'm going to get rid of that land. I'm going to get rid of one of my own lands because, I want to have a 4/4 red elemental creature token, whatever. I'm going to take out that artifact for you. Like a commander, this would be fun in commander, Just get rid of all the big stuff, and call it a day. Anything that's threatening. So Rowan's pretty cool, and it looks like there is another side here of Rowan, and there's the other art. Or that's Will, actually, sorry. There's the other art we have. And then we go into Rowan. 3-drop. Rowan. Let's do this, baby. What are you about? Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So that's neat. You can choose either Will or you can choose Rowan. You can choose Barbie or you could choose Ken. So they both have the same static ability. +1, Rowan, Scholar of Spark deals 1 damage to each opponent. If you've drawn 3 or more cards this turn, she deals 3 damage to each opponent instead. So yeah, I mean, these two are definitely going to be instant sorcery heavy builds. Otherwise, you're doing it wrong, okay? -4, you get an emblem with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell. you may pay 2. If you do copy that spell, you may choose new targets for the copy. Cool. Okay, and it's only -4. Wow, only 2 to copy that spell. Okay, that's pretty good, man. And okay, this Planeswalker definitely, I think, is stronger than the last Barbie and Ken we saw. The last one just kind of weak, you know. But these two seem pretty legit, man. I like it. And it's so scary that they're flip. Oh, man. All right, and there's the other art. Pretty legit. Rowan, Scholar of Spalks. Professor Onyx. Kasmina, is that it? Are we done? Oh, yeah, we do have a few of these cards to talk about. There's Demonic Tutor. Here's some more of this Japanese art you can get. Beautiful. Really, really cool. What is this? Plowshare? What is this? Swords of Plowshares. Cool. What is this? Ponder? No. That is Opt. Okay. Very cool art on these. There's Demonic Tutor. Opt. What else we got? Swords of Plowshares. Quandrix, man. We already went over all these. So that's it in a nutshell, guys. What do you think? What are your thoughts on all these new cards? I think they're pretty... I mean, we're going to be dealing with a lot of instants and sorceries in a nutshell. Yeah. So instants and sorceries matter for sure in this meta. And if you're running them, that Magecraft, I mean, you have an entire mechanic based around the use of instants and sorceries. Get used to seeing a lot of them. Probably like in your average deck, like let's say, I'm throwing a random number out there. Let's say in the average deck, there's 10 instants and sorceries. In the average deck, okay? In the average standard. Well, in this standard, you're probably going to see like an average of like 16 or maybe 14 to 15, you know, something like that. There's going to be an increase of the average overall. All right, I'm pumped for it. What are you guys' thoughts? What card are you looking forward to using? And I'm pumped to see the next spoilers. These puppies are pretty hot, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. I'm Joey Moss, Bad Boy Gaming, Bad Boy MTG. If you made it this far, say skadoosh yourself.